Okay, we're back around to the top of initiative. So the crab's not going to really matter. I'm not sure if the fire starter's in a position to really do a whole lot this turn. Yeah, we're not going to be able to jump down into range of anybody. So this might be a rest turn for the fire starter. But right now, we're just going to reserve because the crab's not going to really matter here. Yeah, see, the crab still has to go all the way around this way to get to our fire starter. Trying to think what the best move is here. The Orion's pretty hurt. We might be able to take it out, although most of its firepower has been destroyed. The Thunderbolt, on the other hand, has full firepower. Although it's going to be tough to knock that out without jumping in behind it, which I can't really do because I didn't take the right mechs for that. So, yeah. Now, what side of my mech is hurt? The right side. So I need to make sure that my left side is facing the enemy if I can. Might be tough to pull off just yet. Alright. So I think the right move here with the fire starter is to start walking down the hill to get closer. And then we will sensor lock the Orion just to make it easier to hit. Maybe not the strongest move we can do, but gets us ready for the future. And helps out our allies just a little tiny bit. Probably not helping us as much as we would like, but...
Commander?
If I can keep hitting that same side... I can't move into a position where I can get that, though, unfortunately. Alright, I'm gonna move the trebuchet up a little bit. Yeah, okay. That will work for me. I think we're just gonna go full bore against the Orion and try and get that kill. Not sure if this is the right time for a precision strike, but I may do it.
Roger.
I just have to evaluate the situation, because the Orion is hurting. If we do a precision strike against... We have to remember, this is Leo, which is our most skilled pilot. Precision strike against the Orion straight into that center torso might get us the kill. So, I think it's a good call.
On it.
Fortunately, we didn't get it. And we didn't knock him over either. Oh, come on, game.
Commander?
Okay, in this case, I'm going to do a multi-target, but this is mostly to try and knock down the Orion. I think I'm going to use the LB5X against him, and then we'll use everything else against the Thunderbolt. At this stage, I think we need to start hurting the Thunderbolt. So yeah, you're going to be A, you're going to be B, and I'm going to switch the LRM-20 over to B. I suspect this is going to be enough to knock down the Orion. If it's not, I'm going to be very surprised. But we got 60 of all of these hit. I'm sorry, I'm looking at damage. Is the stability not listed? It probably is if I go here. It'd be 20 stability damage. I suspect that will knock him down.
Copy that, Commander.
There we go. Kind of hoping we get the kill, too. Alright. 16 hit points. Gotta love it.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Okay. So the right side is the side that is hurt. So I'm gonna try and face away as much as I can.
I read you, Commander.
And we're going to multi-target this. Some of this is just going to have to come down to luck. Go ahead and make you A, though. And you B. Okay. What do we fire? We only need 16 hit points. In theory, the SRM-6 could do it if we got 2 missiles on that center torso. I'm going to roll the dice on this one. It's possible we don't kill the Orion. But I'm going to go for it.
Right, Commander.
There, we got it. Perfect. Okay, not bad.
When I shoot you, you'll take it and like it.
Okay, going after the trebuchet. We don't really like to see that because the trebuchet doesn't have a lot of armor, but I'm willing to risk it because they've been beating on the dragon, and we kind of want them to stop doing that. So, yeah, okay. Well, unfortunately, Firestarter is still not going to be in a great position here. No reserve, but again, the crab is not really a threat, so we can ignore it. Once it gets on this ridge, it will be a threat, because it will finally be able to get vision against us. But that might take another turn. So that means we've got a full turn of just beating on the Thunderbolt. And we're going to be able to do, like, just full firepower. I think that's probably going to hurt quite a lot. I'd like to focus my damage, though, if I can. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Roger that.
Try and hit them all on the same side repeatedly. I may not be able to follow that up with anybody else. Oh, that was actually the wrong call because we were about to clip this side. Whoops. Well, I'm going to go for the left torso anyway. Oh, we were probably close to getting him.
That's a hit.
All right.
Waiting for orders.
Good, we can focus that.
I'm there.
Probably not a bad call to do another precision strike here.
Copy that, Commander.
Perfect. Okay, so the Thunderbolt may go down.
That hit something good.
And again, it might not. Alright, so we have to reserve.
Whatever you say.
Okay, now we can go.
What can I do for you?
I think I'm willing to come in here. Well, the other choice is we attack the side that is also hurting. Hold on, let me take a look at this. So if we take out the right torso, that's the last of the weapons that the Thunderbolt has. And it's in no position to attack us with a melee attack because it has to go all the way around. So...
Waiting on you, Commander.
I think I'm going to move away a little bit. Now, that crab might be able to come in and rear attack us next turn if we're not careful.
Right, Commander.
Move back a little bit. And hopefully we get some nice good luck here. Because if we can get that right torso gone... unfortunately, we didn't get it. It's a crab? Alright.
Commander.
Let's go get him. Crab's gonna have a lot of damage reduction again. Just dip it in butter. I like that. Actually, can we jump and get the... No, we can't get the... We can't get close enough, unfortunately. Yeah, so we'll just attack what we can. Anymore, yeah. I don't really play it on my free time so much anymore. Just play it in stream, pretty much. No, that's not the only game I do stream. I've been streaming a lot of MechWarrior 5, which is pretty much the simulator first-person perspective version of this game.
Locking on and firing it all.
But those have been the main two games I've been streaming lately. Been doing a lot of MechWarrior 5, but I think we're going to probably pull back on that a little bit more and get back into the Battletech here. I definitely missed it. Okay. Well, the crab can get us now. I'm not necessarily really worried about that. What I am worried about, though, is that the crab will be able to get on the top of this hill and start attacking my other mechs here. Possibly getting rear shots, although I don't know if it has a good angle for that.
I'm listening.
So as much as this is probably a bad idea, I'm going to keep the Firestarter on him. We're going to get a nice rear attack here. I also precision strike him for good measure. If we're really lucky, we might be able to get the kill. Unfortunately, I don't have the most skilled pilot available. Again, we're trying to get experience into our secondary pilots. So I'm just going to go straight for the center torso. In theory, if we land with all the small lasers, we might get the kill. I'd have to do the math here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we'd be shy no matter what, huh? Well, I'll do it anyway. What the hell?
Here
We're probably not going to get the accuracy we need anyway. Alright. Let's have the Centurion
Commander?
try and finish off the Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt will probably go down. This is a lot of firepower, and this thing does not have a lot of health left. And even if it doesn't go down, that's fine. Yeah, it's dead. Got a nice big ammo explosion. It's gone.
Mech destroyed.
Alright.
Good to go.
Let's get Leo over. Reason why I held Leo back is because we knew Leo could attack the crab, so...
Acknowledged.
Well, this might not be the highest accuracy shot. We're gonna go for it nonetheless.
Roger that.
Okay. Fire Dragon definitely won't be able to do a whole lot. Oh, okay, the crab's just gonna go up on the hill, actually giving our Fire Dragon a potential chance. I really do like crabs, both eating and in this game. I don't know if it's the most effective mech in the world, but I like it. It looks cool. Where the king crab, you break his legs first and then dip him in butter. That's good.
Roger that. Firing on target.
All right.
No retreat.
I think we'll get the kill here. Just have Truck just walk up in behind and get another rear shot. I don't suspect he'll live through this, especially if we get another precision strike in on him. That'll more than likely get the kill, and if it doesn't get the kill, we've got follow-ups.
Take this.
I love her voice. Mm-hmm.
Oh, now I'm just tearing you up.
Alright. We didn't get it, but now we have plenty of follow-up here. Let's go ahead and have the trebuchet attack. Guess we'll go precision strike again. Yeah, that torso section's hanging on by a thread, so I'll go ahead and knock that out.
I copy.
Do you think you'll play Empire of Sin when it comes out?
Reporting critical hit.
I feel like I've heard of that, but I am not remembering what it is. Maybe I'll take a look at that in a second just to remind myself.
Waiting for
I've definitely heard the name, I just not sure if I remember exactly what that game is. There's actually a few games that are on my radar. There's a game called Star Sector. I mean, in theory, I could get it into it. Oh yeah, this guy's dead.
Copy that, Commander.
But it looks pretty cool. It's very different from games like this, but...
Target down.
Alright, now we just have to do the objective.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to take a few turns because I'm a decent distance away.
Yep.
Be a race to see who can get there first. I suspect I know who's going to win this foot race, but
Moving out.
we'll give everybody a chance.
Location confirmed.
Rolling.
Affirmative.
Confirmed.
And the big one that I'm really waiting for is the just the full release of Ultimate Admiral Age of Sail and Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, I think is what it's called. For some reason I had a brain fart there. Another one that's on my list is Panzer Corps 2. It looks pretty cool. XCOM like set in 1920 Chicago mob made by Paradox Interactive. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. That's the one with John Romero. I remember that at ParadoxCon. The only concern I have with that, I didn't really get a big look on what that game was all about, but I've seen games like that made before, and from what I've seen of it, I'm a little concerned that I'm not sure how all the gameplay mechanics are gonna flesh out, but I haven't seen a lot of it, so I can't really make a judgment call on that. But let's just say I'm interested, but I have concerns about it. Also, let's face facts, as much as John Romero is, well, it's not really done by John Romero, is it? It's more his, is it his wife that is the developer? I know it's a Romero, but I don't know who the lead designer is. I know Romero's involved somehow. Yeah, and then Bloodlines too. I haven't really been looking at that too much either. I really don't do much preview coverage of a lot of games because I don't really like getting wrapped up in hype. Okay, so we're in the area, and then our mission should just be... Oh, it's not over, so we're going to have reinforcements coming in, you think? Huh? It's possible it will end here after my turn, but... Usually when it makes me play a turn out, we're going to have reinforcements. So we'll see.
Heading out.
Yeah, but I tend not to really pay too much... Okay, yeah, there's the mission. I tend not to pay too much attention to preview coverage just because... I think it's better to just, you know, wait for a game to come out. The only downside of not really watching preview coverage is sometimes I miss a game, like when it first comes out, or I don't know when a game is coming out as... you know, it's harder for me to know when stuff's coming out, I guess, is the best way to put that. But yeah, I just don't like getting all, you know... Oh, you know what? Let me hold this back a little bit. We kind of need to take this, because it's plus 10 damage. I'm going to look at what else we have here. I think we take the Orion over the Thunderbolt. I mean, either one of these would be a good pickup for us. It's more likely we're going to get more Thunderbolt parts. Planet Side Cowboys. I feel like we'll see more parts to a Thunderbolt than an Orion. But I think either one of these would be great. You know what? Let's just go big on this one. Go Orion. Yeah, we got lucky and we got the Thunderbolt anyway, so that's good. Okay. We're getting pretty close to getting that crab as well. Yeah, I picked up Witcher 3 when it was on sale. I've never played it. But I was playing Kingdom Come Deliverance. And I was liking that, although I kind of like fell off a little bit because I was kind of getting sick of... I know there's fast travel in the game, but the game kind of penalizes you a little bit for fast travel. I mean, I don't know how many people really know how Kingdom Come Deliverance works, but also I had gotten to the point where the game, I guess the best way to explain it is there is a tournament in the game that you can do. And for a while, I didn't know, like, I was still learning the combat system, because the combat system's a little awkward, I guess. And it's not very well explained. And I tried out the tournament, and I wasn't doing really well. And there was a lot of times when I was doing the combat, and I could not figure out, like, how parries worked, right? Because I would block an enemy, and then I would try and do a follow-up attack, and the enemy would always be able to block me, so it was just always this back and forth, and it seemed like the only way I could really win was by cheesing or spamming, like, quick stab attacks and stuff like that. Well, I didn't know this, but one of the trainers you have in the game teaches you an ability, and I think it's called the Master Stroke or something like that, some name that you would never figure out that what it was. And when you do it, you have to be able to beat him in a kind of a, what is the word I want to use? Like a practice match. You have to beat him. But if you beat him, you unlock this ability, and what it is if you get a perfect block, you get the parry off. And it's a really powerful ability. And when I had done the tournament before, my opponent was doing that to me, but I didn't know what that was or how it worked, and I just assumed it was the AI cheating or something. So what I had been doing is I had been just practicing the combat like nonstop, because it's just like the Elder Scrolls games. You level up by doing. So you level up your sword skill, your defense, your other stuff by just fighting over and over again. Well, you do have a trainer that you can do like a practice matches against, and I was just doing that like crazy. So I had really leveled up my abilities like really, really high. But by the time I had figured out that I got this ability, the combat was so freaking easy because I was so high leveled and I had a really powerful ability. So it became to the point that the combat was trivial, and it kind of took me out of the game. And I think that's my biggest reason why I kind of just dropped Kingdom Come Deliverance. But I had a lot of fun with it, and I still think it's a good game. I think the biggest complaint is that the combat isn't as well thought out as maybe it should be. Because there's a lot of games that have combat like it. Like Mountain Blade, Mordhau. I'm sure there's one or two others that I'm forgetting. But there's plenty of games that have done it. And I feel like done okay with it. But I guess they wanted to do something different, and they just didn't think it out very well or something. But like this parry ability is just broken good, because it's really easy to pull off, especially if you've leveled up like I have. And it does crazy amounts of damage. So all you do, like every combat I've ever had, pretty much what it is I just sit there and do nothing and wait for the AI to attack me, which they take usually a long time to do. And then when they do, I just parry them and they get destroyed. And then I just wait again and parry them again. And I just do that until they die. Also, the game had a problem, just like with the Elder Scrolls games. As you level up, they level the enemy correspondingly to kind of like go along with you. But it got to the point where, from a role-playing perspective, it didn't really make any sense, because bandits were like had insane heavy armor. And the problem is I had no problem with money. I guess that was the other thing that really took me out of the game, is all I had to do is go out into the woods and fight a few bandits, and the bandits were carrying such heavy gear that I would just round up their gear, go to the store and sell it, and I'd have thousands upon thousands of Groshen, which is the currency that you have in the game. And it got to the point where everything was trivial. I was too high leveled for what I was supposed to be doing, and the combat had become too simple, and I was just swimming in money. So there's really no point in me, like, doing anything, because I couldn't buy better equipment than I had. That was the other problem. The stores didn't have very high-level equipment, so there was really no progression, and there was really nothing for me to spend my money on. I was getting better gear from the bandits I was killing than I was being able to buy in stores. So it just got to a point where the game became kind of silly. So as much as I liked it, and I feel like it had a lot of good ideas, there just were some things I didn't think out all that well. The Witcher isn't like that. You don't need to know all the combat system for the game. A few things you fight, though, you have to read about it in the game to kill it. Yeah, that seems to make sense. And a lot of people have said The Witcher is really good. I've never played any of the Witcher games, so I think one of the reasons why I always, I've been holding off is I don't have any experience with the Witcher games, so I wasn't sure getting into the third game if that was a good idea or not. But I think people have said that it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, it is what it is. I just need to get into it. I just don't know if I do it on stream or not. Okay, that's enough rambling about Kingdom Come Deliverance. I think we have one more contract to do in this system. So let me just level up our mech warriors in case we need to.
Reading you.
Okay, you're getting there. Yeah, reducing that minimum range is really good. So we'll go ahead and go for that.
Mech warrior training complete.
Okay.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Go ahead and get you your called shot bonus. Good.
Training complete.
Receiving you.
I guess Leo is leveled in everything except piloting, so we'll start getting that up a little bit.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Okay. And Truck was the other pilot we used. And she's kind of pretty far behind. Well, at least we get the called shot. I think I'm going to push this as well. We need a little bit better information, I think. Okay.
Mech warrior training complete.
All right, let's go ahead and do this last contract. So, again, another recovery mission. Yeah, this is fine. I'm tempted to use the same squad here, but I think we're going to go back to my normal setup. Especially as I don't want to have to remember what my setup is. So, switch you, move that over. I think I want to keep using either Drake or Bajera in this case. I think I'm going to use Bajera. And then get that Shadowhawk back in here. Pretty sure this is our normal ship. I don't think I have another Shadowhawk, honestly. And I did that on purpose so I don't get confused. Okay. Good. And yeah, we're going to keep using truck as well. Yeah, and that's what I've heard, Brunswick, is you don't really need to know anything about it to get into it. Okay, I think we're good. It's just one of those things. I haven't really played a lot of long-form RPGs in quite some time. And a lot of it is just not having the time to put into it. But a lot of the reason why I was playing as much Kingdom Come Deliverance as I was is that was my editing game. When I was editing footage for my YouTube channel, I'd play a game because it takes time to render footage. There's some problems though, because your performance really is hurt. So sometimes it's a good idea to play games that don't really suffer too much from that. All right, your target is a Davian research facility. You'll be recovering Tarian operatives carrying biological sample cases. They're ready for extraction when your units reach the facility. Pick them up and get them to evac point. Best of luck, Commander. Alright, I might do the secondary facility first. I'm not sure. Guess we'll move aggressively. We want to get contact with the enemy.
Location confirmed.
Oh, that's good. We got contact really early. 80-ton vehicle. That could be a number of things. Okay. You had this mission type bug out. I've never personally had this mission type bug out. I've had the escort missions bug out on me before. At least I think so. The one mission type that I really had a problem with, they apparently changed. I don't remember what it's called. It has a name to it. It's very rare that you even come up against it, but you have to like leave these markers at set places and then extract, I think. Again, I don't remember what the name of the mission type is because I do it so rarely. But before, you would have a timer to extract, and I had one mission, and it was the last mission we did with the last playthrough I did before we got into the heavy metal DLC. And I had failed the mission because I was one turn away from the extract. I just had one more turn, and I would have been in the extract, but the time limit ran out, and the mission just failed. And it really pissed me off. Thankfully, they apparently have changed that, though. According to what I heard, rather than the mission just auto-failing when the time limit runs out, another like set of reinforcements come. Because that's literally what the description says. Oh, both objectives are in the same spot. That's weird. Okay. Well, this guy hasn't gone yet.
Commander.
What I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump over to this side, and I'm going to sensor lock him to figure out what he is. Fortunately, the sensor lock isn't really going to help me because he's going to be able to go right away, but might as well establish some line of sight.
Sensors locked.
It's a demolisher, that's what I expected. That's kind of a high priority target then. This demolishers can do a lot of damage.
Ready for orders.
I think I went in the wrong direction. I think that's okay though, because it seems like the enemy is nowhere near me right now.
Location
Oh, they're
confirmed.
there. Yeah, this might have been a bad move. Just to try and save myself, I am going to use Vigilance because they might be able to get contact with me next turn. Maybe they won't, but I think it's better safe to be, you know, safe than sorry. But yeah, let's start trying to get some damage on that demolisher.
Commander?
I want to keep hitting that same side if I can.
Gotcha.
There we go. Perfect. That's a very good outcome for us.
Frag the vehicle.
Okay. I don't really have a move with the Shadowhawk. I think probably the best move we have is just to be, you know, fairly well defended. In case they get vision of me. They might not be able to. 35 ton, so those are 2 strikers. And then we have a 75-ton mech. Okay. That could be a number of things at 75 tons. But yeah. We'll use the Shadowhawk as maybe potential bait.
It's go time.
Alright, well, no reason not to wait for them. Ooh, where's that coming from? Ah, okay. 45-ton mech, 40-ton mech, okay. That's good. We should be able to take advantage of initiative. For these two. Probably take the Firestar, jump it up there and attack whatever this 45-ton mech is. This is more than likely a Cicada, with as much as it moved. Because I think the only other 40-ton mech right now in the game is the Vulcan? A lot of 45-ton mechs, though. That's very interesting. Alright, let's go ahead and reserve again. There's a possibility they catch the Dragon out in the open, but the Dragon has pretty good defense because we gave it Vigilance. Alright, what do we got here? That's a Black Knight. Okay. So unfortunately, the enemy is going to be able to attack my Shadowhawk quite a bit here. But, I mean, we kind of did this on purpose to use the Shadowhawk as bait. This mission might be a little on the tough side. I think we'll be able to do this okay. Maybe emphasize the Black Knight.
Damage minimal.
I'm worried with as many mechs as they have. Next turn, they'll be able to really beat on the Fire Dragon if I move it up aggressively. If I don't move it up aggressively, though, I don't really get much done, so... I think we just beat on the Black Knight. I wish I could get the Flamers in there, because Black Knight would be vulnerable to Flamers, but we're in a
Moving to position.
cold climate, so I don't know how effective that's even going to be. Probably I should do Precision Strike on the Black Knight. Although our accuracy isn't that bad, we could probably improve it. The only other call is maybe make the Fire Dragon more defended. We could also try and kill the Strikers, but I think the right call here is try and kill the Black Knight as fast as possible. Because it does not have the best armor. Alright, where would hurt this guy? Let's see. We've got medium laser in one arm. Large laser there. Nothing there. Large laser, medium laser. Medium. Okay, so looks like the right side is the side to go after.
Engaging.
Okay. Am I in range? In theory I am.
Waiting.
Now you should have another precision strike because you have... Oh, Precision strike. Yeah. Yeah, just keep going after the right torso. We did alright damage there. I don't really want to heat myself up too much. But I am concerned about these guys getting my back, which they'll probably pull off. So let's just move. Out of curiosity, can I get my small lasers in on this guy? I mean, if I move really aggressively. Seeing what my options are in different spots. Okay, that's kind of what I'm looking for right there. This is a fairly aggressive move, but I think it'll work out. So you're going to be A, you're going to be B. And fire. If we're lucky, we clip off that torso section. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we got it. We'll have follow-up attacks before he gets a chance to go, as we have precision struck him down into initiative. 45 tons going to be a few things. It's going to be Phoenix Hawks, Blackjacks, Vindicators. So there's definitely quite a few things it could be. I'm going to go ahead and go in here for the rear attack on this guy, because it's pretty much set up, and I know I'm going to be able to get 2 off before he gets a chance to retaliate.
I'm taking the highway.
Okay, there's one of them, Vindicator. Open up.
Locking on and
I don't remember how
firing
good
it
the rear
all.
armor is of the Vindicator, but I guess that answers our question, as he just got
I'm guessing
pretty hurt
you
there.
didn't like that, did ya?
Sadly, we don't know what these other mechs are. Alright, so let's just follow up with another attack here. Let's see how badly hurt the Vindicator is. More than likely, we'll get a kill here, so I think it's a good call for a precision strike. Go for that center torso and just get it over with.
Firing everything.
Oh, we didn't get it, damn.
Oh, now I'm just
The
tearing
likelihood we
you
would have
up.
gotten that was pretty high, so I'm somewhat unhappy that that turned out that way. I think I'm just going to stay tight to the cliffside, because there's a good chance we'll be able to get more of those rear attacks off. This guy, the Vindicator, might be able to see me if he comes over here, but I think he'll be the only one that can see me, so I think it's a safe move. We had a look at that for a brief moment, and I forgot to look at what it was when we got it. Alright. Okay, they're going after the Fire Dragon, which I suspected they would. Okay, it's a Cicada. Unfortunately, it's the one with the PPC, which is, in theory, a little bit more dangerous. Punching it would have, but I would have had to have done a death from above attack. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Punching it in that instance, no, because I would have been stuck here with no evasion, and then every one of these mechs would have fired upon me, so the retaliation would have been devastating. I might have gotten the kill, though, you're right. I think we got unlucky not to have gotten the kill, though, considering how damaged he was. Okay. I think in this case, we know they're just going to keep firing on the Fire Dragon because they like to do that. It's going to be the easiest target for them to hit, so that's why they're doing it. I think we just keep attacking the Black Knight. I might take the Shadowhawk and stomp on one of these vehicles. But if I do that, I'm not going to do it first. 2 hit points. Oh, come on. Oops. Not what I want to do. But yeah, I think I'm just going to sit put. Because I'm not really in danger this turn, I don't think. Oops. There we go. Alright, let's go for it. If we get lucky, we knock out that torso section. Which is exactly what I was looking for. And he may fall down?
Critical hit,
There we go,
Commander.
perfect. So that Black Knight is pretty hurt. Okay, Blackjack. Oh, it went after the Shadowhawk, which is good because it reduced the number of weapons it fired because it was trying to burn through evasion. So we don't know what this 45-ton mech, it could, yeah, there's a few choices. Okay. So yeah, the Black Knight has had a lot of its firepower reduced. I think it's probably a good idea to try and just finish that, though. So we could multi-target, or we could not. I think we won't do that. Let's just kill the Black Knight. Just go straight center torso. This will more likely be overkill, but I just want to make sure he's dead. Yeah, okay, good.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Alright. I don't want to jump in a position that's too conservative, because then we won't be able to do anything next turn. So I'm going to jump. Alternatively, we just take what's going to come and try and take some heat off of our ally. It's potential we take full damage by whatever this is, but we have a good evasion and I want to cool off, so...
Engaging jump jets.
And if we're lucky, we might be able to get a flank attack next turn, depending on how things turn out. Okay, so that's a Phoenix Hawk there. So they gave us a good variety of 45-ton mechs, which is good to see.
Damage minimal.
Okay. So the Black Knight is dead.
Receiving you.
Fortunately, I cannot melee strike one of these strikers. I guess I'll just go with the one that doesn't have damage reduction. And we'll try and knock it out. This should be enough damage, I would think. Or not. Okay, there we go. Slow reaction.
One more for the trash heap.
Ah, that sucks. Especially as that guy, in my opinion, should be dead. Okay. Hit injury ignored, which is the reason why I use cockpit modes. Really important to save yourself from that kind of stuff. Alright, I guess we just finish off the Vindicator. 15 hit points. If I had hit him with one small laser in that rear section, he would have died. Well, we're just going to finish this guy so he doesn't get a turn. That does leave the Firestarter open to counterattacks, but I feel like letting this Vindicator go again and hit me again with a PPC, I just can't live with that, so...
Affirmative.
I might not be able to fire everything here. But mostly everything will do.
Guess I'll give it to him then.
Yeah, that was really an overkill. Now, fortunately, the Firestarter cannot be seen, because the only thing that could see was the Vindicator. At least I think that is correct. Alright. Oh, good. We got lucky there. Shadowhawk has to move. We don't want to keep getting hit out in the open. Do I dare death from above? That's probably a silly move. Cicada's really not the best target here, and I don't even know why I did this in retrospect, but oh well. Just gotta live with it now. Hey, we got a crit on the PPC. I guess that is good. Normally, I would not have attacked the Cicada in retrospect. We do need to kill that Striker, though, because it's giving vision.
Waiting for orders.
It's possible I kill him. I'm gonna go ahead and do the precision strike because we've got a lot of morale here. What's your armor like? Yeah, let's hit him on the right side because that's already taken some damage.
Engaging target.
Bullcrap. Well, guess there's no way we could have stopped that. That was an unlikely shot to land, I think.
Damage minimal.
Considering how much evasion we had. Alright.
Orders?
Let's have you just finish off that striker.
On the move.
Not sure if I want to put full firepower into that. Oh, I don't have a choice because of, I'll turn off the ultra autocannon. This is overkill. I think the flamers are kind of a waste too, but how often am I going to be able to fire these flamers anyway? So, screw it.
Acknowledged.
Die. There we go.
Reporting enemy vehicle.
Alright, cool.
Eliminated.
Alright, back around to the top of the order. I think Truck can just stay put. We don't really know what she's going to do just yet. And we might get a better outcome here in a little bit. That doesn't mean they're going to be able to beat up on my Shadowhawk or the Fire Dragon a little bit more, but we're in an alright position from a defensive standpoint. Despite the crit and the evasion, he still hit me. PPC seemed to be the weapon that the AI can just hit you regardless of how much evasion you have. Okay, well, Phoenix Hawk seems to be the target to hit here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hold that. We'll go with Crack Shot. I was thinking originally Crack Shot because we can do full damage against both these guys. But I think what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to use a Precision Strike here. We're going to hit the Phoenix Hawk. Go after his right torso, because if we can chop that off, we knock out the arm too. Which has a good majority of the weapon systems of the Phoenix Hawk, so good idea. Especially the most damaging weapon that the Phoenix Hawk has. Alright, we at least exposed the structure there. Do we dare jump away? Yeah, sure, what the hell.
Engaging jump jets.
Running pretty hot. And the dragon's there to tank for us, so it's better that it's the target. Okay. Now for Crack Shot.
Standing by.
I think we keep the Trebuchet where it is. Multi-target. Blackjack will be easier to hit. I think that's what we go with. So A, B. We've already done some damage to the Cicada, which makes it a tempting target, but
10-4.
now the reason why I did this is we do full damage against both. So the damage reduction this guy has, which would be 40%, doesn't matter. We do full damage. That's because of Breaching Shot. Breaching Shot works. If you only fire one weapon at a target, you will ignore whatever damage reduction they have. And that's why, in that case, splitting the shot between the two works out, because I have two LRM-15s. So if you're wondering why I did that. Alright, let's just go ahead and reserve. Does allow the Phoenix Hawk to move here, but we did manage to clip off that right torso, thus getting rid of its large laser. And because it moved back, I don't even know if it was in range to attack with anything. It probably just went into full defensive mode. Yeah, which is what it is. The thing in this case, we know we have an initiative advantage. We're just going to take the fire starter. Actually, we could walk over and shoot at him. I'll go ahead and take that. Although he does have a fair amount of damage reduction. Another choice we could do is we could sprint in behind one of these targets and hit them with a rear shot. We know we'd be able to pull it off, and we would be cool for the next turn. I don't know if this would be a rear shot or not. It's potentially a rear shot. I think we go with it, though. Because we're hitting, if we're not a rear shot, we're hitting the same side we've already hit. So we're focusing that damage in. Go ahead and get our other small laser in here, though.
Here goes.
Just the downside is we have to deal with the damage reduction. Alright.
Standing by.
Let's just have the dragon move up. There's not really a strong target here, as
Position
all of
confirmed.
my opponents have the same amount of damage reduction, just some have more evasion. In this case, we're just going to go after the Phoenix Hawk and try and finish it, because it's very close to dying. I'm also going to use Vigilance here, because I have a lot of morale. We even use precision strike too. Try and ensure that we get the kill here.
Copy that.
There we go, perfect.
Hostile eliminated. Mech warriors, show 'em what you
Alright, so as I
got.
discussed, because I have the
I'm
initiative
listening.
advantage, I can go before they get to go. Not really a whole lot I can do with that, unfortunately. At least not with as hot as I am. If I wasn't this hot, I could have jumped in behind them and guaranteed that. I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to move
I'm
for some
going.
position, and I'm going to sensor lock the cicada. Now the cicada more than likely just move, and thus this evasion burn won't really do us anything good, but... Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm too hot to really take advantage of a lot of the enemy here. I think what we're going to do is just use crack shot.
Commander?
Pretty much do the same attack we just did. Just with different targets as A and B.
Gotcha.
This is why I really like running support mechs in this game. Because you can take advantage of things like that. I know there are some people who have discussed with me that they really struggle
Commander.
with support mechs. So I don't know if that helps or not. Kind of just explaining my rationale behind certain things that I do. I think in this case we're going to be very aggressive with the Fire Dragon. There's a potential that the Cicada gets in behind me. But I will use Vigilance, because otherwise I'm going to be really out in the open here. That's another thing a lot of people have told me is they don't really use Vigilance. And I think it's a very important tool.
Firing.
It does a really good job of manipulating your initiative, which is one of the things that makes it very valuable. The other thing that it's good at is just when you're out in the open like this, protecting you. I think some people underestimate the damage reduction, I guess. I'm not really sure why people don't value Vigilance as much. Maybe it's also a mentality thing. People like being able to do damage to things, and it's more satisfying to hurt an enemy than just be like really defensive and tank, but sometimes it really works depending on what mech you're using, of course.
Engaging target.
Well, let's get some damage in on the Cicada and just kill it. That works too. Not really all that well armored, so I guess it's not too
Come on,
surprising.
people. Let's make it happen.
Alright, so if we plan this out well, which I think
Yeah.
we'll be able to do, we should be able to hit the Blackjack hard. Yeah, one-shotting things. I think that's a lot of what people like with Precision Strike. If you really tailor your mechs towards that, I think that's why people tend to value it more. But it does take you time to get your pilots to that level, though. So when you're first starting out, I think Vigilance can be a little bit more valuable.
Fire now.
And any pilot, no matter what skill they are, whereas you really need that skill to get the cold shots, I think. Oh, we get another rear attack. Perfect. I think this guy's dead. 2 rear attacks like that, especially with this kind of damage that's just about to hit him. Yeah, he's dead. I don't know how many hit points. Oh, 15. Yeah, he's dead as hell.
Targeting rear armor.
He's dead as hell.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Yeah, I think that's a good point too that you make, Shirayuki, is that it's a good way to also change the AI's behavior, because if a target is really well defended, the AI sometimes will ignore them. And even if they do attack them with all that damage reduction, in a way they're kind of throwing their damage away. So you kind of win no matter what they do.
Coordinates received. Aye, aye.
Let me just make sure. This is the secondary objective. Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay. So there's a secondary objective taken care of. Alright. Now let's just get the primary objective done. I think we're still going to have to play out our turn. I don't think it will end right away.
I'm there.
Oh, never mind. There we go. We're in the right position. Yeah, it does make me play out my turn, which is fine.
Affirmative.
Maybe I'm being a little careless. There could be reinforcements, but I just suspect it's not going to happen.
The asset is in hand.
Okay, we're done.
Good work.
Another successful mission. And considering that we were punching above our weight, I mean, they warned us not to go into this mission, but, you know, that's one of the things that I think this game in particular does a good job with, is it rates things off of tonnage, but the tonnage of a mech is not really the best way. Maybe that's also a failure in the game, but tonnage is not the only way to evaluate how good a lance is. A mech can be really heavy and be bad. A lance can be rather light, but amazing. Just depends on how you use it and what your playstyle is. I've had certain people tell me that they don't like running sport mechs, they don't like running light mechs because they think that they die too easy. But for me, it's the thing I love to run with. It's one of my favorite setups. So I guess it just depends. And I think that's another good sign of a game, in that different playstyles work. It just depends on, you know, what you can do as a player, what suits you best. There's no wrong way to play this game. Well, there's wrong things to do, but there's no wrong strategies necessarily. All right, well, I'm going to grab the Black Knight because we are desperate for a heavy mech. It's probably a good idea to pick up this medium laser, even though it's full of attributes that I really don't care about. Accuracy and crit percentage. I tend to be a raw damage guy. But there you go. Yeah, I prefer using really heavy mechs in the game because I face tank a lot, moving into positions where I can get huge alphas off on mechs that are turned to the point where I can do that for quite a while. Yeah, and again, that's a perfectly viable thing, and it I think it's fun to do that kind of stuff too. It's fun sometimes to do different strategies. But I tend to fall into the more maneuverability style. Hit and run, I guess, is the way I would call it. With this playthrough, I kind of went with what I call the well-rounded lance, where you have a mech for what I consider the main four roles of pilots. I'm sure there's another role that I'm not thinking of that somebody else has come up with, but as far as I'm concerned. Okay. So we got, all right. I think the big danger of a light mech is if you get hit with a sensor lock. And you have really, like especially later in the game. Because if you get hit with the sensor lock, they can just annihilate you with LRMs. And especially if you weren't expecting it and you're not in the best position for it, that's really the danger of a light mech, because you can do your best to break line of sight and pour yourself into a really good terrain position, but a sensor lock can really even the playing field against the light mech, and that's the real Achilles heel of any light mech. Well, I personally think medium mechs are they're like my favorite, because they're very well rounded. You can do a lot with them. They can be decently armored. They can give you really good firepower, especially if you build it right. You can get good mobility out of them. So there's a lot of flexibility in medium mechs. Once you start getting heavy mechs, you start having to make sacrifices for the tonnage. And then once you get into assault mechs, there's really not a whole lot you can do with assault mechs. At least not well, in my opinion. Assault mechs, if they're not slow, then they're sacrificing a lot for mobility, because there's a lot of diminishing returns to get that speed in a heavier mech. So, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, if you're running an assault mech, I prefer them to be slow, but very well armed and armored. So, in my opinion, you kind of lose a lot of your flexibility with the really, really heavier stuff. But, yeah, it depends. Like, I don't tend to be a fan of the Victor. Like, for example, of like the assault mechs, I think the Victor I could do without. I think it sacrifices too much for the different things it has. Now, you could probably modify it to be better, but jump jets on a mech that weight and you know, the kind of speed it has. With 80 tons, you can get away with that kind of speed, but yeah. And then the Banshee is the one that is the biggest indicator of the sacrifices of speed, at least with the default variant. You sacrifice way too much for that speed. So I'd say the default version of the Banshee is probably one of the worst assault mechs in the game. With the Victor, you can do some things with, but the Banshee is just, unless you just build it to be a tank, but I prefer my tanks to at least be able to dish out some kind of firepower. So, yeah. All right. Where are we at? So we wrapped up all the missions here. It's really just figuring out where we want to go next, and I think it's pretty simple. We're just going to go down and probably hit this flashpoint up, and then go to this flashpoint, and then we'll probably go to this one, unless we find another one around. Highlander, the Atlas, and the King Crab. Yeah. Highlander's good, especially the one they give you in the campaign, the Star League era one. That one's amazing. Other than that, what else? I mean, the Atlas is a very good mech. King Crab, I haven't really played much with in this game, so I don't really know how good it is. But I play with it in MechWarrior 5, and I like it. Although these two games are different. Okay, well, I think we're going to keep this as a little bit of a shorter stream, though, unfortunately. So I think I'm going to wrap up here soon. But I hope you guys have enjoyed. And, yeah, I think we have kind of in front of us what we're going to do. We're still hurting for money, not having a lot. But as far as the ship upgrades, we're pretty close to having the ones that matter anyway. Yeah, we have 3 mech bays. Really, all it comes down to is we need heavy mechs. And because I am required to have more parts to get a mech, I have to have 5. It's been tougher for us to get them. I don't know what mech I'm closest with. I guess we could find that out. Hold on. I remember where these things are. Yeah, it'd be under components, right? No, storage? Storage, yeah. Let's see. We're really close to this Orion. We're also close to an Archer. That wouldn't be a bad pickup. We've got a Thunderbolt we've got 3 parts for. So in theory, if you guys were playing with the default, I would have already had a Thunderbolt, an Archer, and an Orion, but I kind of wanted to push it a little bit more to need more salvage and stuff. I feel like with this game, with the 3 parts, you get salvage too easy. But unfortunately, the game isn't balanced for the other side of things, which is to buy stuff. I mean, in theory, the parts are there. I mean, I might even be able to put together one of the 3 mechs that I can get. I just don't have the money because I've been spending very aggressively. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't see it. Well, let's see the black market. Let's see. No, these are all assault class mechs for the most part, except for a hatchetman here and there. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, we had a few different Thunderbolts. There's one Thunderbolt that we had 3 parts for, and we had one that was, at least I think so. How do they organize this? Is it alphabetical or by tonnage? Probably by tonnage, I would assume. Yeah, so this one we have 3 parts for. Oh, did it? Let me take a look at that. Missed it. Oh, yeah, you're right. Right there. Unfortunately, just 1. I'm probably going to have to pass on it, though, because I really can't afford it. But if there were 2 parts here, I'd do it for sure. Because we really need heavy mechs. But yeah, I'm not going to spend that much money. Alright, well, we're getting there. It's not too far off. And if we get lucky and we're able to, like, headshot a mech or leg shot a mech, we'd be able to put one together. So we're getting there. I guess the other problem is, do we fit all the rolls we need? More than likely, yeah. Alright, guys.